To begin for the Ashanti region, where we understand Metro Mass transit workers over there have called off their strike this morning. The workers were protesting unpaid salaries. We can get the latest from Nana Sensu-Mensah, who has been following talks between management and workers. Nana, tell us more. What consensus has been reached?
Yes, Dario. Not long ago, the aggrieved workers and the management, specifically delegation from the Labour Union, the Trade Union Congress, and the management of the Metro Mass Transit, they've been in talks for, let's say, 3 hours. After the closed-door meeting, they reached consensus. And what they have agreed on is that their outstanding salaries will be paid to them in full by before 13th of this month, close of business that specific day. So they have assured the aggrieved workers that their outstanding arrears will be paid to them, and then they have actually begged them to resume their post for at least for the sake of the stranded commuters and passengers who have been at the yard over the weekend. So for now, they have laid, the workers who laid their tools have now resumed their post. And before I was leaving the yard, buses were tripping in gradually to, convey the commuters from the yard to their various destinations. So for now, the picture is that the aggrieved workers have now come to a consensus with the management, and they've agreed to resume work. Dario.
Okay, so earlier you spoke with the deputy managing director of the Metro Mass Transit, Richard Osei-Banfo. Let's take a listen to him talk about the company's financial troubles. Then I'll come back to you. He has been talking to us about that. The deputy managing director of Metro Mass Transit, you explained for us, so what he told you earlier in that interview he granted you.
Yeah, he told me earlier that there are over 3,000 workers within the Metro Mass, system would have been laid off if it were to be a private entity because of the COVID-19 that has really, derailed their financial status. So they are actually in financial turmoil as it stands. So that has actually led to the delay in the payment of the workers' salary. So I also asked him about the grounded vehicles, the numerous grounded vehicles at the yard. What is his comment on it? And then he told me that it's due to PPA. They have been partnering with other entities, so they outsource almost all the stuff that they buy, including the spare parts and other stuff. So that's somehow delay their procurement. So he was in talks with the aggrieved workers. He was part of the meeting. And then he told me that what he has to say is that he pleads with the workers to actually resume their post because, the Metro Mass is a non-profit making entity. So the least profit that they make from their activities is what they gain, and then, use some to pay the workers. So if they sit aloof without resuming their post, it will be difficult for them to, sort the workers out. So he actually pleaded for the workers that they should listen to him and then agree to him so that they will return to their post and ensure that, especially for the sake of the stranded commuters, they should resume their post. So this was the engagement that he had with me earlier in the yard. And then I also asked him that, what about the grounded vehicle? Do they have plans to auction some of the vehicles that are outmoded? Then he told me that they have plans to auction almost all the vehicles that are not in good standing to be on our street. So they are in talks with other agencies to ensure that they lay off all those vehicles that are not deemed for road,
Okay.
And then they ensure that the yard is cleared.
Okay. I think we can listen to bits of what he told you earlier when you spoke to him.
There's nothing that cannot be resolved. They understand the situation in which we find ourselves. So it's not like we have decided not to heed to what they are saying. They understand that we are a social intervention. We are not even a company that's meant to make profits. As long as we break even, we're able to pay our salary, we're able to pay for parts and be able to take care of, petty issues. So they would not, they are not going to, we wouldn't say we wouldn't pay them simply because, or sideline them and go hire people simply because they have refused to work. I can assure you that before the end of today, they are going to go back to work. I can assure you.
Some of their concerns were that, one, their glycol, their tier 1, tier 2 have not been sorted out for a couple of months now. Also, they also told me that some of the buses are grounded with some minor faults which need some few cities to be, bring them back on the streets. What do you have to say to that?
It's not, it's an issue, just like you said. I mean, our priority is to be able to pay for salary. Looking at our workforce, we have almost 2,900, close to 3,000 employees. And if you look at the number of buses we are routing now, our priority would be focused on paying for salary. Anything else we may have to put on hold. Because if we decide we want to use everything to go pay for, to pay our people rather than pay for parts rather than using it to pay salary, this is the situation that we find ourselves. A company that used to generate over 200,000 cedis a day is currently doing about less than 4,000 cedis. And like you said, it may look like it's minor. It may be fan belts, it may be brakes, it may be ties, but you should understand that as a company, we are under PPA. So somebody supplied you something, you haven't been able to pay them, yet you expect them to supply more. So this is the situation in which we find ourselves. If at the moment, let's say someone supplied you 1 million cedis worth of stuff, you've not been able to pay them, yet you need about 50,000 to move buses. Okay. Are you going to take that 50,000 to that person, or you are going to buy? If you decide to go and buy, that person has every right to take you on because you have some money to pay for stuff cash. But then if you give that person 50,000, that person is not willing to supply more because he needs more than that 50,000 to be able to supply you.
And that was Deputy Manager there at Metro Mass Transit speaking to Nana Stenso earlier. We'll leave that conversation there, Nana. We just see how they are going to try to deal with their financial troubles and at the same time pay workers. But the latest there is that workers of Metro Mass Transit in the Ashanti region have returned to work upon consensus with management of that company.